Oh la 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 la. Amba de dum 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 hey. Amba de dum dum dum. It's me again. Amba de dum dum dum. It's me again. Amba de dum dum dum. Oh me again, again. Girl, where you from? I wanna go there. I wanna make your home my destination. Girl, where you from? You and your friend then. The whole collection must be an explanation. It had to be something in the water, in the water, baby. Something in the water, in the water. It don't make sense. It had to be something in the water, in the water, something in the water, in the water. It had to be. I pray that one day I truly and finally solve this mystery. I'm until then, I take a little wine, start back it up, girl, and press rewind. Tea from the good girl and just take time. Wine, girl, I took a girl. Girl, where you be? I wanna be there. There are so many things that I just have to know. So many things, like the way how you blow, how you flow, Jano. Ooh, that. Make me wanna run test on your new college too. Yes, me girl, cause it had to be something in the water, in the water, something in the water, in the water. It don't make sense, it had to be something in the water, in the water, something in the water, in the water. It had to be. I pray, I pray that one day I truly and finally solve this mystery. But until then, I take a little wine, start knocking up, girl, and press rewind. See if the good girl and just take time. One girl, I took a girl. Oh gosh, tell me, baby, tell me, yo, it had to be. Girl, you see, quick must be really have me feeling like Jack and Jill. Make me wanna take my.
Greetings, 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 and salutations, one and all. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. It is Healthy Love Night. Inviting you to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. The sound of Kofi kicking things off tonight. A track called Something in the Water. What is in your water?
It's me again. It's me again. Oh, me again.
I want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio, those who are locked in from across the pond on One Harmony Radio. Top of the morning to you guys over there in the UK. I want to say big ups to those who are locked in out of New Jersey on NIE Radio. Much love to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Girl, where you from? You and your
I want to say big ups to those who are locked in out of New York.
collection must be an explanation.
Those on island worldwide.
Something in the water, in the water.
Exhibiting the power of music.
Something in the water, in the water. It don't make sense, it had to be something in
I want to say big ups to those out of Long Island, New York.
the water, something in the water.
Hanging out on Reggae Pulse Radio. Much love to you.
I pray that one day.
Blessings to those who are locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, LintonLindsay.com. Big ups to you.
I wanna be there. There are so many things that I just have to know.
Much love to those who are locked in on PEMGTV.com.
How you flow.
Those hailing from Texas. Auto operated Deucey Media Group, WGLRO.
Yes, me gal, cause it had to be something in the
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
water, in the water, something in the water.
Those who are locked in on Clubhouse.
Sense it,
Big ups to you.
something in the water,
Those on Zeno FM.
water,
Bubbling up in the stew pot. Welcome, welcome.
it had to be a prayer.
Hey Joan, how you doing? I want to say big ups to Joan on Facebook Live. Locked in out of Kendall, Florida.
Until then, I think I little wine. Start knocking up,
It's been a while, nurse.
See from the good girl and just take time. One girl, I took a girl. Oh gosh, tell me.
How are things going in the Jamaica Nurses Federation? Something people want to know. You know, things like people like me.
I wanna go there. I wanna make your home my destination.
I want to say big up to those who are locked on TuneIn Live.
You and your friend them. The whole collection must be up.
And of course those right here at the home of the night shift for the DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com. We're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. So glad to have you, couldn't do it without you. You have my word, I wouldn't even try. As a reminder, those locked in on Clubhouse, those locked in on Facebook Live, it's only temporary that you get you are there. It's only a segment broadcast. So use up the link that is pinned in the comment section and that is there in the description. Come on over to kevinstew.com. Get the full broadcast. You have two ways to watch. There are two video players on kevinstew.com. Or you can listen via TuneIn on kevinstew.com. You got options. Of course, the phone line is always open. 773-789 Stu gets you in touch. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. Those of you watching, you see the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. 773-789-7839 is the number. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors. Paul C Media Group and Being in the Moment is Press. Let's go ahead and give them a call. They'll take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads. They'll stream that event that you're having, whatever event that is. A church service, a wedding, a funeral, a party, a graduation, a seminar, you name it. They even provide the streaming services of your broadcast, like what I'm doing right now. And they provide it on a secure platform, whether yours or theirs. They'll even go a step further and host your website if you don't have a host. They host mine. Thank you, Paul C Media Group. Give them a call, 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140. Tell them what you want to do. And tell them Kevin Stew sent you. I say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea S. is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. Give her a call today, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. She only has one request outside of paying her. That is, you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. It's called the Kevin Stew clause. I'm always falling asleep on her table. Thank you, Althea. I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global acts as your booking agents, handle your tour management, take care of your business registration, legal service referrals, marketing and promotion, music and production, and much, much more. Go ahead and give them a call, 954-804-8199. That's 954-804-8199. Or check them out online at reggaeglobal.com.
It don't make sense, it ought to be something in the water.
I want to say thank you to McNeil Trucking. McNeil Trucking is a veteran-owned, licensed and insured mover in the state of Florida. So you want to move from the Keys to Jacksonville?
press rewind.
From Naples to Cocoa Beach.
Just take time. Wine girl.
From Pompano to Pensacola. And any point in between.
I wanna be there.
You wanna put some things in storage, you don't have the manpower, you don't have the transportation? Don't worry. You have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking. 954-406-9740. That's 954-406-9740. With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands. Call them up today. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. I pray that I solve this mystery. Which mystery? The mystery of something possibly being in the water. Or in this case, something in the relaxer. Tonight in Healthy Love, we're looking at relaxer danger. Yeah, there's not just danger with the stranger, but there's relaxer danger. You kind of have to wonder what you mean, danger. People have been relaxing here all along. Oh, that's specifically the relaxer that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about kicking back and relaxing. I'm talking about hair relaxers. And I guess there's something in the relaxer versus something in the water. There is something in the relaxer. There is something in the relaxer. There is something in the relaxer. Trust me. So, how many people have been relaxing their hair for, I don't know, ever, for ages? Ladies and men. How many have been relaxing their hair? Is it a thing? Pretty much all my life, I can say I've known people who have been relaxing their hair. And, you know, you would think nothing of it because it's relaxing hair. Who would think that, you know, this is an issue, it's a big thing? No. It's just relaxing hair. You know, you apply a little, what I grew up knowing it to be cream. So you cream your hair, right? And it's no big deal. You go in with your hair extra curly, you come out with your hair extra straight. It's, you know, it wasn't magic. it took a while, but it wasn't magic. But in the midst of it all, I've always noticed that when a woman gets pregnant, then they braided their hair. Now, for those of you who are listening, going, wait, what do you mean straightening your hair and stop not straightening your hair when you're pregnant and curly hair? Well, clearly, I'm talking about mostly black people, right? Because if you are not black, then chances are your hair is only partially curly. Black people have really curly hair, in case you didn't know. And so, even with a full head of hair, with extra to boot, you don't really know the actual length until it is relaxed. And whereas until it is straightened. And although you could go about straightening your hair a few ways, relaxing your hair is typically the way to go. Now, ladies, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is basically how I knew it. And of course, since you all are the ones relaxing your hair, I'd really, really, really like to be corrected. 773-789-STEW gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. And you can get in touch from anywhere in the world because you have apps like WhatsApp and Telegram that you can use to make a phone call or send a message if you're not here in the United States and want to call directly. All right? So, no excuses. Let's see. It does have some negative health implications. All right, Joan. Because tonight you would be the resident health expert. You know, feel free to call in. You don't have to send a message on Facebook Live. Plus, remember, Facebook is only temporary. In about 20 minutes, it's going to be gone. So, you know, I would love for you to be here for the duration of the broadcast, contributing to the program. Of course, you can jump into the stew pot. Anybody listening in, if you want to know what the stew pot is, it's what others call a chat room. When you go to kevinstew.com, it is right there. Just scroll down, you'll see it. It is actually between the two players. Now, you don't need to register, offer a firstborn, an internal organ, or a blood sacrifice to participate in the stew pot. No. Just go to the website and you are there. So you can remain anonymous, or you can put your name so that I know exactly who it is that I'm dealing with. All right? Or however you want to be referred to. But it makes it a little bit more personal. So go ahead and use up that medium. But Jonah is saying there are some health implications. And as we're going to discover tonight, there are some others that actually have made it to the news. So this stopping to not process your hair, another term that I knew it as I grew up. This process of getting pregnant and you stop doing that. You stop adding this chemical to your hair to straighten it. What's the big deal? If you've been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years, then you get pregnant. What is stopping at that point going to do? If there's something in this chemical that straightens your hair, and this is what got me initially when I heard somebody say, well, I'm braiding my hair until after I deliver this baby. I'm like, but why? So apparently people knew that something was up with this chemical, but yet still, one, it was still sold, and I do suspect it is a multi-billion-dollar business because you have black people all over the world buying these products and using them to straighten their hair. Well, of course, those who are quote-unquote woke would ask the question, why would you want to change your appearance to look like what you are not? You are created. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are created perfect. You know? So that argument, I guess, is for another time. But this, in its simplest form, why are you going to be bothering to change your hair appearance using this chemical and then not just because you're pregnant when you've been doing it all along? If it is going to affect anything inside you, then whatever it is going to affect it with has been there inside you all along. So stopping for this period of time, how that work? Is it only affecting you when you're doing your hair and it doesn't affect you any other time? Explain to me, people. What's the whole thing behind pausing the processing of the hair? Now, according to NBCnews.com, a recent study found that women who reported frequent use of hair straightening products were more than twice as likely to develop uterine cancer than women who did not. One person said, if I had known for all those years, if they had a warning on the box to say this could cause cancer, I would not have used it. This says Rhonda Tyrrell, 55 years of age, of Gwynn, Alabama. Terrell, who lost her hair during chemotherapy, had a wig installed recently. Alright, pause for a moment. Because making a statement like this kind of, again, baffles me. When you say if it had a warning label on it that said it could cause cancer, you'd stop using it. Were you ever a smoker? Because cigarettes have warning labels on them. And the tobacco industry is still one of the biggest businesses in the United States. So even that argument, I don't know how much that argument holds water. But maybe for her, maybe, just maybe. But then you'd have to ask the question of other products which have been known to contribute to cancer also. Oh, but then again, most of the products in the United States don't carry these labels because they're not required to. But we know that even some foods are contributors to the cancer problem. And of course, we know sugar tends to feed cancer cells. But yet still, sugary products, especially the drinks, are big sellers in the United States. Go figure. We know why, but go figure. The article goes on to say 3 years ago, Rhonda Tyrrell was diagnosed with an aggressive form of uterine cancer that has since spread to her abdomen and liver. What is known as it has metastasized. Remember we talked about last week? Yeah, it has metastasized to her abdomen and liver. And I sound professional and medical right now? Yeah. That's what happens. We learn things. She underwent a radical hysterectomy, the removal of her uterus, cervix, ovaries, and fallopian tubes, and tried to come to terms with the way the disease had altered her life. I don't like to look at the survival rates, Terrell said, through tears, mind you. Cancer is such a painful condition. Terrell is one of 4 black women, 3 of whom spoke to NBC News exclusively, who have filed federal lawsuits against L'Oreal and other companies, alleging that chemicals in the company's hair products cause them to develop uterine cancer or other severe health effects. The lawsuits follow the release last month of a study by the National Institutes of Health that found that women who reported frequent use of hair straightening products, defined as more than 4 times in the previous year, were more than twice as likely to develop uterine cancer compared to those who did not use the products. According to the lawsuits, 3 of the women have had a hysterectomy. One of them, age 28. Terrell, 55, of Gwynn, Alabama, said she had begun waxing her hair at age 8. 8 people. As an 8-year-old. What could be so important in relaxing your hair? Oh, but then again, you're not the one doing it. It is your parents at that point. She said she stopped in her late 30s or early 40s. She has uterine carcinosarcoma and underwent 6 rounds of chemotherapy and was in remission for a little over 2 years before the cancer returned in July on her liver and abdomen, according to an interview and her lawsuit. She's undergoing chemotherapy. And she goes on to say, if I had known all these years, if they had a warning on it, on the box, to say it could cause cancer, I would not have used it. And I want to hold them accountable because I have granddaughters. Okay, you have granddaughters that when they were 8, you were saying that they should have their hair processed too? And if you have granddaughters, did you only have boys or did you have daughters also? And did you insist on processing their hair at young ages? And the article goes on, but I'll go on. I'm tempted to go on with this article after I give you some information. And it's also time to take a quick break. But chemical hair relaxers, what are we talking about when we start talking using language like that? Comment here on Facebook. Because they are not regulated by the FDA. Research also shows a high correlation to developing Alzheimer's disease, hormone disruption, etc. Thank you very much, Joan, for that information. See, when we talk about things contributing to our health and things, whether positively or negatively, we talk about it because we want people to become more aware. Not because we just like putting, I don't know, big businesses under the microscope or big pharma under the gun or anything. No. More importantly than that, we need people to understand that going to the supermarket is detrimental to our health if we're not careful. Yeah. And you might think of it as me just being ridiculous or being extreme. But if you're going to the store to pick up things like hair relaxer, to pick up certain food items that, especially when it comes to fruits, you say you're going to get some fruits. Okay, cool. But the fruits that you're getting is not usually in season at this time, but then it's sitting there looking big and pretty. And when you were growing up, you didn't remember them being that big. Don't you think you need to ask a question? And so, you have these GMO, these non-organic things that we're putting in our bodies or on our bodies. And these things contribute to our health one way or another. So don't even think that it's limited to chemical hair relaxing products. Big ups, Hubert. Much love, bro. Welcome to the broadcast. Truly appreciate of you showing up all the time and sharing and contributing whenever you can. Truly do. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to part company with those on Facebook Live, those on Clubhouse. But the broadcast continues on our affiliate stations and at home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. And you're constantly encouraged to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because the information that we share here is good for everyone. It's important that we all know and join in on the discussion at any point that we can. One thing I must say that I've noticed is that I'm seeing less and less of people my color processing their hair, because apparently natural is in. So does that mean we have become more health conscious, or is it just that we've become more self-conscious? Whichever it is, we're going to take a quick break. As we go off on the break, I do want to encourage you to get your copy of the book. Which book? Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. It is authored by Jonathan Field. But get this, there's an audiobook. And that audiobook is narrated by yours truly, me, Kevin Stew. So you're encouraged to get your copy of the book. A quick way to do it, go to kevinstew.com. There's an image of the book cover right there. You just click on it, and it takes you to where you would get your copy of the book. Go and get your copy of the book today. Essential Concepts and Strategies Every woman should know about self-defense. Don't think that this is just for women, because men should know it too. Not just to protect themselves, but to protect the women in their lives. Empowered. Get your copy today.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Come on, oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Ladies, lovers of the music, it is here, the brand spanking new album from Ed Robinson and Ian Sweetness, a tribute to Teddy Pendergrass. Amazing. 10 blazing tracks, 2 amazing singers going hit for hit, classic for classic. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Oh man. It's out now. Available everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, it is there. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, brand spanking new, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Ladies, gentlemen, you've got to have this in your collection. Get it now. Available everywhere. Bruv, my last baby already gone off to college, mate. Is what this is send come gimme, man. Is a big album still, I love it. Big up Ed Robinson, Ian Sweetness, but this better come with a contraceptive.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin Stew.
Sometimes I wonder, how did I make it through? Well, I had a feeling it'll be alright. Yeah. I look to my God, and He cleared the way through. He gave me the feeling it'll be alright. Sunny days are ahead. Ahead. I'm supernatural. Ooh, I'm walking in my faith, 'cause I have a purpose. And even if I fall hard, I get back up and ooh, what a feeling when I know what I can do. If you're ever feeling broken down, torn apart to pieces, it'll be alright. And I can tell you that it won't take too long. Be strong, 'cause it'll be alright. 'Cause better days are ahead. Better days ahead, yeah, yeah. Ahead. I'm supernatural. Ooh, I'm walking in my faith, 'cause I have a purpose. And even if I fall hard, I get back up and ooh, what a feeling when I know what I can do. I'm supernatural.
The sound of China Nicole bringing us back from the break.
In my faith, I have a purpose.
The track is called Supernatural.
And even when I fall hard, I get back up and ooh, what a feeling when I know what I can do.
What a feeling when you know what you can do. What a feeling when you know what you can do without.
What a feeling when I know what I
Yeah, the moment that we become aware of certain things, it is the moment that certain things change in our lives, isn't it? Which is why it is always encouraged that we never stop learning, because it's never too late to fix something, right? You know, it could be a relationship, it could be a personality trait. You know, there are things that are changeable, things that we have learned along the line as we were growing up that we can adjust. How we take care of our bodies is one of those things too. And we may not look at it as such, but in the grand scheme of things, the soap we use on our bodies, the lotions, the hair products, the eye drops, you know, ointments and creams, antibiotics, medications, they're not all great. And some of them are more dangerous than others. And as we talk tonight, looking at relaxer danger, we're talking about hair relaxers. And probably a lot of the guys just automatically, when hearing about hair relaxers, just tuned out. Because, you know, they don't relax their hair. But a lot of these guys still have men, still have females in their lives. So are they going natural, or are they relaxing their hair? And if so, how often are they doing it? Again, 4 times or more, what increases your chances 4 times or 40%? You know, these, when you process your hair, ladies, when you process your hair, when you relax your hair using chemicals, how long does it last? So does it last for more than 3 months? Because they're talking about people using it 4 or more times in a year. That would make it excessive use, or that really raises your chances of contracting one of these cancers by way of hair straightening products. So how long does it last? 773-789-STEW gets you into it. 773-789-7839. You can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram. They all worked. Send me a message or give me a call. Of course, the stew pot is also available. You can send your message there. Put your messages in the stew pot. Go to kevinstew.com, and it's what others call a chat room. But because of fancy on kevinstew.com, it's a stew pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. So put your responses there. And these are questions that I genuinely want to know. You know? So hair relaxers. These are designed to straighten extremely curly, coiled, or tightly coiled hair by relaxing the disulfide bonds found within the cortex layer of the hair. And this is according to designessentials.com. Hydroxide and thio, THIO, are the most common types of hair relaxers. And hydroxide relaxer types include sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide, and guanidine hydroxide. These relaxers can be marketed as base and no base relaxers. Base relaxers require stylists to base the client's entire scalp with a protective cream prior to the chemical relaxer application. No base relaxers have a protective cream built within the relaxer that settles onto the scalp according to the client's body temperature. Although no base relaxers have thin oil-like protective cream within their relaxer system, most stylists use a base cream around the ears and hairline for added protection. See, even that, I've wondered why that was done. You know, some put on the ears, some oil or some kind of thing put on the ears, and I was like, But I was seeing this as a child, and had better things to do with my toys. Boys will be boys, right? During a chemical, so the question is, how do relaxers work? During a chemical relaxing procedure of a hydroxide relaxer, a process called lanthionization. This is what happens during the process, and this is the breaking of disulfide bonds to alter the curl pattern of the hair. During this process, the curl pattern is loosened or relaxed. The cortex is thus elongated, stretching the original curl pattern, therefore making this permanent alteration. There are several types of hydroxide relaxers, otherwise known as metal relaxers, which are sold to professionals and consumers with no mixing requirements. The ionic metals include sodium, lithium, and potassium. These metals are combined with oxygen and hydrogen, forming ionic compounds known as relaxers, which include the following active ingredients. And I think this is where the things get really interesting. You have sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, and lithium hydroxide. And I know sodium hydroxide from chemistry class, not something to play with. Sometimes calcium is added to hydroxide relaxers, but it's not used solely to relax hair. And you kind of have to ask, okay, then what are you using it for? The main active ingredient in a lye relaxer is sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide relaxers are very effective in breaking down the hair's bonds, basically straightening the hair, and doing it quickly. Because it processes quickly, it is also the most commonly used relaxer by professionals. Through speedy and precise application, professional stylists are able to apply the relaxer evenly, process the relaxer in a timely manner, and rinse thoroughly with a neutralizing shampoo to avoid damage and potential irritation during the chemical process. The things women go through so that we men can admire them. And the hair is a part of this admiration process. Now, it also depends on which culture you're coming from that recognizes the hair as a part of this admiration process. Because in some cultures, you as a woman are more attractive with shorter hair, with not processed hair. So these are things to also consider. Lithium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide and guanidine hydroxide relaxers are marketed as no-lie relaxers. No lies told there. Although these ionic compounds are not lye, hydroxide is an active ingredient. No-lie relaxers are ideal for someone with a very sensitive scalp, as the chemicals and pH level of these types of relaxers are milder than the lye-based relaxers. No-lie relaxers are commonly associated to drier hair due to calcium buildup. This can easily be addressed through the use of clarifying shampoo to remove dull deposits and deep conditioning treatments to add moisture back to the hair. The things that women go through. And I get it. I really do. So, what is a low-lie relaxer then? Because you have a no-lie relaxer and you have your low-lie relaxer. A low-lie relaxer has the lowest concentration of sodium hydroxide, which is less than 25%. Sorry, 2.5%. It is equally as effective as other sodium hydroxide relaxers, however, much more mild due to the percentage of active ingredients. The low-lie relaxer gently loosens the bonds for increased manageability while maintaining some level of texture in the hair. Oftentimes, guanidine hydroxide relaxers and calcium hydroxide relaxers are recommended for clients who have a sensitive scalp. Those types of relaxers like Design Essentials Sensitive Scalp Relaxer tend to be less irritating to sensitive clients. And of course, they would promote their product. This is a Design Essentials article. They would promote their product. The level of hydroxide used in relaxers determine the strength. Excuse me. For example, super strength contains a higher concentration of sodium hydroxide than a regular strength relaxer would. Makes sense. Although the results from a relaxer, irrespective of strength, is straighter, more manageable hair, the strength of the relaxer used to achieve the result is very important. The goal is to avoid hair and scalp damage based on the texture of the hair. So you should only use the highest strength for the most resistant, healthy hair. All right, so, and this particular article then goes into to pH and types of shampoos to use. And I'm going to go there also until we take the next break. The goal is to avoid hair and scalp damage based on the texture of hair. Using this process, going through this process, aren't you recurring or repetitively damaging your hair? Isn't that what is happening here? Or no? And I again, I am here to learn as much as I can. I've never really thought about the hair straightening process in grave detail. So go ahead, shoot me a message, drop me a line, call me. I don't bite. And if I do, I've never had a complaint. But call me 773-789 Stu. You know, I want to hear. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your side of the whole issue as it relates to chemical processing of the hair. Comment here in the stew pot. When I usually relax, it would be 6 weeks and I'm due. My hair grew fast. So definitely I was relaxing more than 4 times in a year. Scary. Yeah, that is scary. Because here it is, you relax your hair. So if your hair grows fast, then you have this new growth. So the ends of your hair are straight because this is permanent. These chemical relaxers permanently reduce the amount of curl in your hair. So, excuse me, the ends of your hair are straight. But the root, the new growth, that's different. And now your head looks funny. So either you're going to cut it off and start afresh, or you're going to go back to the hairdresser and start the process all over again. Where does that put us? Ladies, where does that put you? And if you're with child or plan to get pregnant, what danger is that to the child? For years, not much consideration was given to this. However, there was some consideration given because women stopped processing their hair when they got pregnant. So clearly, there was some consideration given. But now, when some people are actually taking some action to say, wait a minute, hold up. Something is up with this. Because here I am suffering. Something needs to be done, something needs to be said, something needs to be addressed somewhere. When it comes to pH, this is a level, it's a measure used to determine the acidity or alkalinity of a substance. The scale is represented by numbers ranging from 0 to 14, where 7 is neutral. Greater than 7, that is more alkaline. Less than 7, that's more acidic. The pH of hair ranges between 4.5 to 5.5. Lie relaxers range from 12 to 14. No lie range from 9 to 11. Again, less than 7 is more acidic. Greater than 7 is more alkaline. Typically, we want our bodies to be in a more alkaline state, right? So we want to be more than 7. And these relaxers, the pH of hair is less than 7. So the pH of your hair is more acidic. Here we go. I did not know this. The pH of these relaxers are greater than 7. In fact, they range from 9 to 14. The no-lie relaxers are in the lower end, between 9 and 11. So they're alkaline, but less alkaline than the lie relaxers, which are extremely alkaline. But we associate the burning and such with things more acidic. You see the confusion? This is where I get confused about it. So following a relaxer, you should always cleanse with a shampoo. Just touching on this before we go off on a break. Following a relaxer, you cleanse with a shampoo, a neutralizing shampoo. Now, This will ensure that you remove traces of the chemical residue and restore the hair to its resting pH levels of about 4.5. The pH of a hydroxide relaxer is typically 13 or higher, which is considered high alkaline concentration. So, an acid based shampoo must be used to neutralize the alkaline condition that is in and to return the scalp to its normal pH levels. But from science class, here we go again. We know things acidic to burn and destroy. And generally, we're told that we want our bodies to be in a more alkaline state. So if we're using these hair chemicals, these hair straightening chemicals to process hair, then it should contribute to the alkaline state that the body is in. I'm so confused. How is it that this is causing damage to the human body? Now, processing times vary from client to client, but most processing times are between 20 and 25 minutes maximum. Ladies, how long do you sit with this chemical in your hair? If you relax the hair until it is bone straight, you're essentially over relaxing your hair. Did you know that? But then again, this is the look that most of our black women go for. When they're relaxing their hair, they're going for straight. This removes any degree of elasticity and it weakens the hair. And over a period of time of continuous over relaxation, blow drying, and hot curling, the hair will become damaged and prone to breakage. To avoid irreparable damage and maintain the integrity of the hair, it is recommended that the hair is straightened 65 to 75% of straight, not 100% straight. Theo relaxers are used to straighten hair, and the primary agent in theo relaxers are ammonium thioglycolate is the active ingredient. Ammonium thioglycolate. Did I say that right? I keep losing where it is. Looking at other things on the screen here. Okay, ammonium thioglycolate. ATG for short. And it is also used in permanent waving. Really? That's interesting. Hydroxide relaxers and thio relaxers should not be used interchangeably. Overlapping these chemicals can cause extreme damage to the hair and can result in hair loss. Thio-relaxers differ from hydroxide relaxers in a few ways. Thio-relaxers, the pH of thio-relaxers is typically around 10, whereas the pH of hydroxide relaxers is approximately 13. Also, an oxidizing agent like hydrogen peroxide or sodium bromate is used to neutralize thio-relaxers. During this process, the disulfide bonds are reformed that were broken by the relaxing process. When using hydroxide relaxers, the broken disulfide bonds are permanently broken and cannot be reformed again. Oxidizing agents should not be used with hydroxide relaxers. Did you guys know this? I didn't know this. But then again, I'm not relaxing here. So I'm not one in the business of relaxing here, nor do I have hair to relax. So I, like most men, I would say, I don't need to know this. But like most men, I have women in my life. And if I care anything about them, I should know this. And so should you. So we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more. Looking at the information that is put out about these chemical hair relaxers, and not the damage to the hair itself, but the internal damage to women as they've been using it over time. Is there really a link? Well, let's ask the questions. Let's review the information and see what we can come up with. We'll be right back, right here on the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Yeah, that's my name. I kind of forgot it for a moment. It's Healthy Love Night. Call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because the information is good for everyone. We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
MRE Entertainment, in association with VPAL Distribution, presents the brand new hit single.
Hi, I'm Robert French, and you're listening to my new song, Every Day of My Life.
Now available on all major digital platforms.
Every day of my life will be, and it's loving you. Spend the rest of my life always, and it's loving you. Every day of my life will be, and it's loving you. Spend the rest of my life always, and it's loving you.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Hey yo, this is Caraman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
Oh Father, as we rise our heads every morning, let us give thanks and praise unto the Almighty God, Jah, Rastafari.
Here I am down on my knees, asking our Father please to save us. Save us, For the fight that's instilled in me, it's a blessing from your strength.
love amongst each other.
Save us, Jaja, save us, Jaja.
Your protection is all we need, yes. Please come down and grant us peace, oh Father.
Save us, Jaja, save us, Jaja.
Send your rain of blessings on me. Wash away all my sins, you see, mighty Father.
Save us, Jaja, save us, Jaja.
Bless us, Jah, and set us free. For your kingdom is what we need to see. Oh, yeah. Father, we need you. Father, we need you. More and more each day. Jaja, we need you. Jaja, we need you. Hear my cry, I say. Many times we fall from your grace, but you never turn your face, Almighty Father.
Save us, Jaja, save us, Jaja.
Keep showing us your powerful faith, yes. Give us strength so we can love each other.
Save us, Jaja, save us, Jaja.
Love alone is all we need. Show us how and let us be free, Heavenly Father. Yeah.
Save us, Jaja.
Cleanse our souls and wash us clean, so that we can come live with thee, Almighty Father. Yeah. Oh.
Caution, bringing us back from the break.
Father, we
A
need
track called Jah, We Need You.
more and more each day.
Caution is Antigua's reggae ambassador
Jaja, we need,
and is also a cancer survivor.
we need you. Hear my cry, I say.
So he understands the cry, saying, you know, Father, we need you. And as such, he can, I'm pretty sure, he can empathize with what a lot of these women are going through with this cancer. Not to say that he has had uterine cancer, but he's had cancer and has recovered. So, is it possible for anyone else? Depending on how far along you are, I'm sure there's always hope. My mother, her type of cancer wasn't as aggressive as some others, but she was given 7 to 8 years to live. My mother lived 15. So, whereas there isn't a cure, you can take care of yourself and live longer. Yeah? Eris Edie was scrolling through social media this week, this week in October, and she saw a news headline linking hair straightening chemicals to an increased risk for uterine cancer, and she paused. Well, actually, I did the same thing when I saw articles relating to the same thing. In the early 2000s, she worked as a cosmetologist and frequently used the products to straighten hair, her hair and hair of women, other women. And back then, she says, cosmetology schools rarely offered lessons in how to take care of black women's natural hair. Interested in learning had to teach themselves. It wasn't a place where natural hair could thrive. It was a tough environment to stay rooted in. No pun intended, she says. I really like that statement that she made, and you know, I thought it was quite witty and smart. Hey Pat, how you doing? Pat says, I used to relax my hair many years ago. We never had these issues they have today. These companies are trying to destroy black women's hair. Well, apparently they've always tried to, if that's the argument that you're going to use, they've always tried to damage black women's hair. But is it that companies are trying to damage black women's hair, or black women just feel the need to not look like themselves, so they use these products? You can't look at one side of the argument and not look at another. Especially today when you have so many more black women going natural. Right? Right. I don't use them now for years and I have no regrets. I just throw on a wig and go. Why bother throw on a wig then? But you know, is it just that that's a look that you like going with? But you don't want to change your hair, you don't want to damage your hair, you don't want to add a chemical to process your hair to get that look. I'm just curious. They have silk press that one can do without using permanent relaxers to damage your hair. There are natural products one can use to make your hair straight without chemicals. Keratin is one of the keratin is one. By mixing flaxseed oil and aloe vera, cornstarch, coconut oil, and olive oil. Oh, that's like a homemade mix to straighten hair. Talk to me, Pat. It sounds like you're onto something here. Is that patented? Is that something that we can bottle and sell? Talk to me. Keratin can be used in many ways, and use some okra and flaxseed, cornstarch, coconut oil, and certain foods. These can straighten your hair without chemicals. All right, so are you gonna cook it and eat it, or are you mixing it up and putting it on your head? Because that sounds like a whole recipe for some food, and it sounds delicious too and healthy. Speaking of which, I am glad you had your chicken without me. Again, Thanksgiving is coming. your chicken and broccoli that you had earlier. Thanksgiving is coming, and I'm going to get fat vicariously through you. Just heads up, Pat. So Pat says you just mix them together and apply it to your hair, and you're off to the races. How long does that last? Is that like a 1 day kind of a relaxing thing? How long does that last? Edie, according to CNN.com, says that every time she straightened her hair, she developed sores on her scalp. Against her mother's advice, who feared she'd be discriminated against, she stopped putting chemicals on her hair and went natural. So here it is. This is a woman that her mother would say, hey, to avoid certain things in your life, change your appearance to be more accepted. And I fear this is what a lot of our young black people have gone through. Now, while Little Richard processed his hair, that's a whole different story. But for women, why do you process your hair? Is it to go with the argument that it is more manageable? Is there an argument that states, well, you can learn to manage your hair? I don't know. I don't have hair like that. I don't know what to go with as it relates to managing your hair. Ladies who do have natural hair, and lots of it, give me your feedback. I wanna hear what it is that you have to deal with each time you are going through the process of working with your hair. The article goes on to say, but her short natural hair came at a cost. People would hurl homophobic slurs at her. So she went natural, and low. Nearly 2 decades later, Edie says she worries about the health consequences of that hair straightening period of her life. Her anxiety spiked when she read about the new study and how black women may be more affected due to their higher use of relaxers and other hair straightening products. So it is not to say that people of other racial or ethnic backgrounds don't use hair straightening chemicals. They do. They just don't use it in the concentration or the quantity that black people do. Because we have tighter curls. So the whole idea of relaxing those curls, is it to just be able to manage your hair, or is it to look like the other people with different texture of hair? I had relaxers for a long time. Excuse me. So it could impact me, she says Edie, who works as a diversity leader at a non-profit in Cleveland. How ironic. I'm 38 and I don't have a child. So when I saw it, I was like, could this be the reason? I have not been trying to get pregnant, but I've not been trying not to get pregnant either. The study leaves women who use these products questioning whether to reduce their usage or stop altogether. Now, I can tell you, this is a big money business also. So can you imagine how the people who are marketing and selling these products must be feeling with a study like this coming out? It also reinforces a dilemma facing many black women, some of whom use hair straightening products to conform to white standards of beauty. There is the issue that I alluded to earlier. Research has shown black women with natural hairstyles, including afros, twists, braids, and dreadlocks, can face racial discrimination in the workplace. But guess what? There has been, what was it called? The Crown Law? That was passed. Where you discriminate against someone because of their hair and you're in problems. But if you're going to camouflage that, you're going to use something else to target them, then they don't have a leg to stand on and they're still discriminated against. So what do? You go natural and potentially harm your career, or straighten your hair and risk your health. Quite a dilemma. Yeah? The Crown Act. Thank you, Pat. It's a dilemma, and it's a real dilemma that people have to face. Some black women say they feel social and economic pressure to straighten their hair. The research published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute found a connection between using certain hair straighteners, such as chemical relaxers and processing products, and an increased risk of uterine cancer, the most common cancer of the female reproductive system. The association between hair straightening products and uterine cancer cases was most pronounced for black women, who made up to 7.4% of the study participants, but almost 60% of those who reported ever using straighteners. The bottom line is that the exposure burden appears higher among black women. This says Chandra Jackson, an author of the study and researcher at the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. The findings follow a similar study that was done back in 2019 that linked use of permanent hair dye and chemical hair straighteners to a higher risk of breast cancer. The risk was more than 6 times higher for black women. Let me ask you this question. How many of you heard of that study back in 2019? Experts say several factors lead women to use hair straightening products, including Eurocentric standards of beauty and a desire for versatility in changing hairstyles and self-expression. Here's the thing as I see it. It is more the standards of beauty. And this is not just affecting women. It's affecting the men that are being drawn to them because we have a sense of what we consider beauty to be. And if it is influenced by that Eurocentric standard, what do you think the women are going to do? Women are vying for the attention of these men. But I was told once by a woman, and this is actually as it relates to them getting dressed and wearing things like high heels. They said, I was told by a few women actually, that they do it for other women and less for the men. And I'm like, wait, what? What? What do you mean you do it for other women? Well, it's a competition out here. So we're competing against the other woman. Though we're competing for the attention of the man, we're competing against the other woman. And we want to make sure that we look better than that other woman. And that's another part of the competition. And I was like, y'all really do that? And she's like, yeah. We know we're going to get the man anyway. And, that kind of makes sense. So if it's a competition, who are you competing against if you know you're going to get the man? It's not a competition for the man. It's a competition against each other just to see who looks better. I was like, wow, that is insightful. Is it the way all women think? Is it the way many women think? I don't know. Is this here thing along that line? I don't know. But this Eurocentric idea, this Eurocentric standard of beauty that a lot of these women have been faced with, this comes through marketing. This comes through advertising. This comes through television and magazines. Because for years, the only people that were considered beauty, so they would end up in these ads, both on TV and in magazines, were those of an European appearance. But then you visit the countries that have these black women and white men go crazy over them just from seeing them. Because let's face it, black women are beautiful, and this is not a black or white thing, because I've seen some really beautiful white women too. So me personally, women are amazing for me, but that's just me. More specifically, as it relates to this though, what danger are we putting ourselves in just for the aesthetic? What danger? Some black women and Latina women also say they feel social pressure to wear their hair in a style that reduces microaggressions and discrimination in the workplace. A 2020 Michigan State University study found about 80% of black women say they alter their hair from its natural state because they consider it essential to social and economic success. Just to get by, they have to alter their appearance. Studies that same year by researchers at Duke University's Fuqua School of Business found that black women with natural hairstyles are less likely to get job interviews than white women or black women with straightened hair. Participants in studies said they perceived natural black hairstyles as less professional. What does your hairstyle have to do with your abilities? What does your hairstyle have to do with your knowledge? What does your hairstyle have to do with anything other than an appearance? With the health risks associated with hair straightening chemicals, the choice for some women comes down to picking the lesser of two evils. This says Insegna Burton, a cultural critic and co-director of Film and Media Management Concentration at Emory University. Black women should not have to choose between elevating dominant standards of beauty in order to stay employed and risking their lives to do so. It's more than a catch-22. It's madness and discrimination, according to Burton. Burton also says that while attitudes are shifting and people are becoming more accepting of black natural hairstyles, bias continues to be an issue in the workplace. Burton went natural in the 2000s and wears her hair in locks. A style in which individual strands of natural hair are twisted together, she plans to keep her hair that way. If it may save your life, then that's all the more reason to do it. Now, when the question becomes, do I live or do I live to pay medical bills? Is it really a question worth weighing the scales? Comments here on YouTube Live. Oh, so Pat was telling us how to do the food here treatment. She says you cook the cornstarch for 10 minutes, cook the flaxseed and okra for 10 minutes, then mix them, and then add coconut oil and olive oil, and leave to 2 hours. Oh, so you apply that to the hair for 2 hours, and then you rinse. She goes on to say, we are the only ethnic group that is different from other nations. That's why we face discrimination, more discrimination than anyone else. But at the same time, we are unique people. Yeah, we very much are. So it's as a result of the Crown Act, it's now a crime to discriminate. But then you have to prove it. You have to prove that. Just like everything else, but I feel it's harder to prove the Crown discrimination thing. So, yeah, the struggle continues. Jasmine Cobb, professor of African and African American Studies at Duke University and author of New Growth, the art and texture of black hair, wonders whether glorifying straight hair is a remnant of a culture that's long since been shifted. Has it shifted? Cobb says she stopped putting chemicals on her hair in the 2000s also. So a lot of shifting went on in the 2000s. Apparently eyes were opened. I question whether straightening hair still comes with social benefits in the 21st century, or if we're holding on to ideas about the value of straight hair from more than 50 years ago, she says. Either way, one concept has not evolved much. Society continues to promote long and flowing locks, whether hair is straight or textured. Yeah, length is still an issue. And people still look at long hair as a sign of beauty. They do. Me, I just like playing in here any which way. So whether it's puffy, whether it's short, whether it's long, if you're a woman that I'm attracted to and you have hair, I'm going to play in it. A lot of women have a problem with that. And you're told, don't touch my hair. Again, it's something that we can work around. Yeah, we can work around it. Going back to the article that we started with, let me finish with it before we get into into musical therapy. Bernadette Gordon, who used chemical relaxers from around 1983 to 2015, believes they caused her to develop breast and uterine cancer. According to her lawsuit, as reported on NBCnews.com, she was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017 at age 44, underwent 6 months of aggressive chemotherapy, and had a double mastectomy in March of 2018. In 2021, she was diagnosed with uterine cancer and underwent a hysterectomy, followed by 6 months of chemotherapy and radiation. Gordon, 49, of Springfield, Illinois, grew emotional as she recounted the toll the back-to-back cancer diagnoses and treatments have taken on her body and her life. It's been devastating for me, she said. All of the women said they're unaware that the use of chemical hair straighteners had put them in such an increased risk of cancer until the release of the NIH study. There was never anything on the product's packaging, they said, and their lawsuits allege indicating that normal use of the products could cause them to develop uterine fibroids or breast or uterine cancer. What is considered normal use? Because anything over 4 times for the year now ends up being frequent use. So what is normal use? Alexandra White, head of the Environment and Cancer Epidemiology Group of the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, and the lead author of the study, cautioned that the study did not prove that hair straightening products caused uterine cancer. The study is the first to show a possible link between frequent use of hair straightening products and uterine cancer, she said. But the women and their lawyers believe otherwise. Deandra DeBross Zimmerman, who is among the attorneys representing the women, said that the science is out there that supports our petition. She said the complaints cite a number of studies that she believes will prove chemical hair straighteners are substantial contributing causes of untimely cause uterine cancer and a number of other conditions. Hair products such as dye and chemical straighteners or relaxers contain a number of chemicals that may act as carcinogens or endocrine disruptors and thus may be important for cancer risk. White said straighteners in particular have been found to include chemicals such as phthalates, parabens, cyclohexylsiloxanes, and metals, and may release formaldehyde when heated. She said L'Oreal did not return a request for comment as to whether its products could or did include these ingredients. Wait, it's not on the label? Uh-oh. The researchers did not collect information on brands or ingredients in the hair products, the women said. Now, you see this part of it? This is where labeling and label regulation comes into play. Just like food, there's an issue when it comes to labeling in the United States. So, how do we go about knowing what we're putting on and in our bodies and the danger it poses to us health-wise? 108 in the stew pod says, I love my natural hair. I went from TWA, teeny weeny afro, to a full head of thick A4 hair. What is A4? Is it it's categorized? Black people here is categorized. Talk to me. I keep it simple and wash. I keep it simple and wash day usually takes the day. Okay. I love my hair and glad to wear it. I am especially free walking in the rain. Okay, so you have your hair natural. You have moved from a teeny weeny afro to a full head of thick A4 hair. What is A4 hair? I still want to know that. And I thought it was an issue with black women walking in the rain. You say you like walking in the rain. I thought the hair issue was a big issue. Is it that the hair issue becomes an issue when the hair is processed? And so keeping your hair natural, you're fine with getting it wet? Is that how that goes? And if that is the case, then women of my complexion, why are we not going natural so that we can play in the rain? Why are we not going natural so that we can take showers together and get our hair wet and enjoy that moment? Why? Why? For why? I do have more questions and answers, and I hope you guys too. I hope you guys have questions, and a lot of them. And of such, are going to move on from this broadcast, whether you're watching live or listening live, or you're tuning into the podcast or the YouTube live replay, and you are thinking about your next step. Because there's no time like the present. Whether you're going to start making a change for you, or you're going to make this change for your children or your grandchildren. I'm not saying that every person of color that has curly hair has to deal with this relaxer issue. Because some people of color with curly hair, it only takes a little bit. And that, it lasts for, I don't know, months. 6 weeks is a month and a half. Some people process their hair and it lasts a lot longer. 2 months, 2.5 months maybe. I haven't done a lot of research, data collection on that, but I'm guessing it does. Can you go natural? Would it make a difference health-wise? You're the only ones that can answer that question. But me? If you're a partner of mine, I'd like for us to live long, healthy lives. I don't want, after 10 years, it now becomes a labor of love because I'm in the healthcare business. I'm not getting paid to do it. But I'm doing it because I love you and want to take care of you. And you're so afflicted by these health issues that could have been avoided. Something to think about, isn't it? Jumping off into musical therapy. 17 minutes at the top of the hour, 17 minutes before we get out of here. We're kicking it off with Dave Revels featuring Junior Rex. It's called Good Jamaican Women. What? Good Jamaican Women. No, Good Jamaican Woman is one woman. I think he only likes one. I don't know.
Some men dream of fortune and fame, long to own the world and hold it in their hand. I just want to hold one woman tight, who will always love me and treat me right. Got to find me a good Jamaican woman who will love
woman so she can be my wife. Be my empress divine, she'll come from paradise. Tell you one time and I have to tell her twice. Jamaican girl, them are the sweetest thing. And when you touch road, they give a diamond ring.
Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of a clarification on this A4 hair thing. It's a type of hair texture. So A4 is what? Full and thick. It goes up to how far?
Find me a good Jamaican woman, a good Jamaican woman, a good Jamaican.
You know, I'd really like to know how does this go? What is the rating? It goes from A1 being thickest to A what being thinnest, or is it the other way around? Talk to me now, help me out now, please. Somebody, please. This is Oddly Rollin', a track called Never Knew Love Till You.
After all I've been through, I never knew I'd ever find you. Never knew I'd find the love that I need in you. No one else has ever done the things you do. You love me for me, not for what I have or for what I could be. Never knew love till you. No one else has ever done the things that you do. Never knew love could be true. I would not want to live without you. Never knew love till you. It's a blessing to have found you. Your love is unconditional. Lord, I thank you for loving me. Love is kind, love is not puffed up, it's not easily provoked, and it's not selfish. Love endures all things, it rejoices in the truth. So when perfection came around, I told all others goodbye. After all I've been through, I never knew I'd ever find you. No, I never knew I'd find the love that I need in you. Love is kind, love is not puffed up, it's not easily provoked, and it's not selfish. Love endures all things, it rejoices in the truth. So when perfection came around, I told all others goodbye. After all I've been through, I never knew I'd ever find you. No, I never knew I'd find the love that I need in
and say we legit, legit. Yeah, we too legit to quit right now, we well legitimate. Say me too legit to quit right now, we legit, legit. Yeah, we too legit to quit and say me well legit. Say I was
This is on Paul Anthony.
No, I
Track called Too Legit.
Stepping on the place like a dance all done. Burn up in the stage with the mic in on me hand. All around the world, girl, I'ma say me number one. Number one, lyrical crown champion. You know see we there from 2000 how long. Trust the process, never stray from the plan. Stay focused and pursue your passion. We reach too far, we return. Cause we too legit to quit and say we legit, legit. Yeah, we too legit to quit right now, we well legitimate. Say me too legit to quit right now, we legit, legit. Yeah, we too legit to quit and say me well legit. Say I was born a winner. No, I can't be no quitter. Yo, too legit. Cause we never stop doing it, too legit. I mean, no, me just can't quit, too legit. From wherever love music, too legit. Make the people a jump and twist, too legit. Taking it back to basic, too legit. Yard man style, now we not fake this.
108 says A4 is a paper type. I am not at the office. Listen, you were the one that mentioned that you have an A4 here type. I just want to know what that is. You know, how does that? How is it rated? You know, the higher you go in the number, is it the higher you go in the alphabet? So is it a A4 and a B6, or is it a A1, A2, A3 kind of a thing? I don't know. I really don't know. And that's why I ask, you know. So, you know, help a brother out, please. Help a brother out. Make warm up my day a little bit. New music from Kashif Lindo. A track called The Coldest Days of My Life. It seems like asking about this A4 thing has put me in a really cold spot. Help me out, Kashif. Please help me out.
I remember the signs of springtime. Oh yeah, they were birds, music everywhere. Some of us play, oh yeah, yeah, and some of us cry. Talking to you, can't you see?
track from Kashif Lindo becomes available this Friday. It's called Coldest Days of My Life. Go and reserve your copy today.
Yeah. Black love is bigger than you, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than him, it's bigger than she. Black love is all about unity. It's us. Black love, it's we. Hey. So make we talk for a second about this. Cause every goddess when me know want this. Fi in love, peaceful and bliss. A black love full of chocolate kiss. Black moments make we reminisce. Light your spliff if you drink, take a sip. Tonight sex enough we target. Cause I've got something better. I swear to God I do. I've got a man that loves me and reads to me too. Him take me on a level, nothing left to do but confess that I love him, and that's the truth. He reads to me, he teaches me, that pleases me. Black love so sweet, he lays with me and plays with me all day.
You know, this whole thing about the hair and the hair straightening and the chemicals that are used in it,
Time and space.
and this health, potentially dangerous health risk.
Me love your king, I will never unbreak.
It may very well be solved with just recognizing
Plus we made
the strength of the black woman.
Charlie, I have to elevate.
If we're gonna come down to the psychology of it all,
God I do.
how else do you support an individual being a strong individual and to speak to them at the core of their strength?
Have to do, but confess that I love
Maybe that's an approach we need to take. And in that way, now we fix the health problem.
he teaches me.
I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. We're wrapping things up. The sound of Caramanti in the background. The track called Black Love. As we part, remember, look out for members of your community. Your community is not just a development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those who pass on the bus, on the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stewart, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Catch you tomorrow, all being well. Real talk. Again, I do apologize for last night's my unavailability last night due to traffic problems as I came back from out of town. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a good night. Take care until Real Talk tomorrow. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.